How you doing? We're standing in front of a 41 Chrysler Saratoga. It's a four-door sedan with suicide doors. Um, my name is Chaikin, and this is being sold. My business is Reclaim Relics. What we have is we got this out of a barn up in Connecticut. It does have a repaint on it, and there's slight, well, I would say alligating, or it's had a really old repaint on it. Looks like alligator skin. We did have we had this tuned up. It runs, so it's all new wires. And let's see, it's got a double horn. The windows, that's a double horn. It's a Spitfire. Looks like a Spitfire. That's where all the wires get fed through. Pretty cool. And when we first got her running, there was a lot of varnish. There's yellowing around the windows. All the windows roll down perfectly. The fake wood trim, this metal trim around here, that has a faux finish to make it look like wood. It has a very slight rust on it. The Bakelite trim is in exceptional condition throughout the dashboard and the doors. We do over here, though, in the passenger side rear, we have one chip out of the Bakelite right here. But other than that, the interior Bakelite is in perfect condition, including the ashtray back here. That still has the banker's matches in it. The headliner, from sitting so long, it's discolored. Some mice found their way up in there, so there is a few of this happening here. I mean, it is together. There's a hole in the front, and that hole was very small, but what I did is I actually wanted to vacuum out. A mouse had made a nest up in there, so I wanted to vacuum it out, which it did. And so the headliner is discolored. It has a hole and a few little, like one or two tears in it. The dashboard is in immaculate condition, other than some surface rust on the mileage. If we go over a little bit, looks like 52,012, which is kind of cool. Because the last time, there's a tag on the side of the door here, and this was sold by Amaral Motors in Connecticut, and the last time that the oil was changed was in 1969, and it was when was it changed? The oil change was at 51,361 miles. So you can see it was barely driven after the oil was changed. If I can see that camera. What we have here is moth damage or rodent damage. I took the interior out and vacuumed and cleaned out any mouse debris. The interior rug, I took out the one. It was the mice really enjoyed themselves on that rug over there, so I took it out. It's a push. You start it, you push to start it. Amazing. People think that push start cars are a new invention. It comes with a Chrysler shop manual that my buddy Dano bought for me. I was going to keep the car, but my wife has different ideas. The interior, I mean, it's for 71 years old. It's not so bad. But if you look down towards the bottom, you'll see that there's where the rodents had chewed through here. Like I said, I took these out and vacuumed up in there. The floor rug is in actually pretty good shape. The backs of the seats, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's a survivor, you know, and it's got some issues, but I mean, if you wanted to sit and stare at it, this rope here, you hung when we found the car, it had a wool blanket hanging over the back. From what we know, you know, the guy who owned this. So this is, I can't say it's a non-smoking vehicle because there is some matches in there. We did find what comes with this car is in the glove box. We found Pepsi Cola matches. It comes with everything we found in the car, which is like a time capsule. So we have all kinds of really cool, you know, 2 packs of Pepsi matches, some literature, maps from Connecticut, and I think a 1950 or so some paper that he subscribed to something that had to do with you know, driving. Because back in the day, I mean, it was a luxury to own a car like this, and you went cruising, Sunday cruising. So, you know, other than that, it's got this great pull-out armrest. So if it's amazing that 71 years ago they had a hideaway armrest. So like I said, the moths, you know, and just due to its old age, it's showing, you know, there's little rips and tears here and there. It's got these little tassels, you know, when you're not feeling so energetic, you grab onto one of them and it helps pull you right out of the vehicle. It has suicide doors on it. Suicide doors, gangsters loved suicide doors because you know, these kind of doors, when you were driving down the road and you wanted to push somebody out of your car, you just opened it up and the wind caught it, and the wind would actually hold the door open for you while you pushed somebody out of the car. And what they did is they learned, right, you know, pretty quickly. They changed, because back in the day, carriage builders, the only reason they kept going with the suicide doors the way they open is because carriage builders were used to building carriages like that. But they found out real quickly it was a lot easier to fall out of a car with these doors because the wind would actually hold the door open, as in today where the wind forces your door shut. So that's a suicide door. Gangsters used to love them. I'll meet you around back. So it's a little dusty. It's been in my shop. So there are slight dings, you know, there's dings every here and there. The only reason I know that there was an old repaint on this is because you can see along the trim what I would call not overspray, but when they taped it off, here you can see a lot better. When they taped it off, they really didn't get it in there too good. But so it does have an old repaint. The trim just on this one driver's side rear fender is coming off. So as we're sweeping through here, the trunk, all the rubber on this thing, I mean, it's 71 years old, so I mean, we're, you know, the rubber's there. I'm not saying it's leaking or anything, but it definitely, here's the trunk. Oops. So here's the trunk. I took the mat out because when I got it home, I left it out in the rain one day, and since the rubber is hard and it's cracking, it's not a tight seal, so water got down in here, and I took out the mat. This is just surface rust. The only rust on this entire car is actually right here. You can see the bubbling. So the only rust is in 3 places. Right here on the rear, right below the rear.
That's just painted over.
It's not painted over. It's just rust just bubbles like that. So that's going to have to be taken care of. There's surface rust in the trunk. But while we're on the rust situation, the only rust on this whole vehicle, including the frame, there's no rot on the frame. This is the rock guard. It's missing the rubber. The rubber was so cracked, it just actually, when we drove it, it fell off. So this is just the backer plate. It needs new rock guards, and just right down in this corner here is where I could see a problem with just a little bit of rust. But other than that, the everything is solid on this car. The frame is solid. There's no rot. The trim is 50-50. There's a dent, you know, that's the only big dent in the trim, but the trim's 50-50. Around the windows, the trim is great, but you know, there's areas where the trim needs to be what I would say re-chromed. But I mean, like I said, this is a survivor car. It's 71 years old, and you can see on this, well, here's the chrome right here. You can see where the rust is starting to come through. But if you want to get in it and drive it and enjoy it, I mean, this is, you know, you got a tail light here. It's beautiful. Whoop, there's the piece of trim. What you have is a tail light, and it looks like a little bit of pitting, you know, but still in great shape.
11 minutes.
What's that?
11 minutes.
Can you edit that?
Yeah.
All right.
Because that's really long. Are we done?
Yeah.
All right.